Number 14, Vincent Booth, Switzerland. Craig Thompson from Great Britain. Number 15, Tinwei Lin.
Atbrīvoturās startam pagatavojas otrais atklājējs. Everybody clear the track, please.
Thanks, clear.
Līdz pirmajam braucienam vīru skeletonām palikušas 10 minūtes līdz sacensību sākumam. 10 minutes left till the start of that competition, the first run. Gatavojamies vīriešu skeletonas startam, let's get ready. Until the start has left 5 minutes. The first run of men's skeleton will start after 5 minutes at 15:04. So the 5 minutes till the start. We go 34 athletes in this first run. So be ready for your start. Līdz sacensību sākumam palikušas 5.
Race 5 of the IBSF Men's Skeleton World Cup. We're at Sigulda in Latvia, ready for the start of the first of 2 heats. The final race before the Christmas New Year break. And we are already in the second half of the season numerically. Race 5 of 8 in the World Cup. And so far this season, all 4 races have been won by the same man, Germany's Christopher Grote. Well, Sigulda will not follow that trend because after a crash in training, Grote has returned home to see what his injuries are. I don't think he's badly injured, but enough that risking a run down Sigulda is not a great idea because this is, like Altenburg last week, a tough track. Short run, 5 stories uphill into turn 1, easy to tap on the right, just like our slider did, and slow yourself down into turn 2. From 3, easy to tap on the right, again into turn 4, giving away vital speed. And then from corner 6 through the upper labyrinth at ground level, 7, 8, 9, and then the big right-handed corner 10, where all the fun begins in 11. Late exit will throw you late into 12, which will ruin 13, and that will destroy 14 here, and you'll flop out onto the straight and skid all the way down to 15, getting in sideways or backwards, up to the woodwork, back down again, rolling off the exit, uphill into 16, 270-degree corner, and it is here that the races are often won or lost. You can make up a lot of speed at the bottom by getting it clean. You can ruin an otherwise perfectly good run in the final 3 corners by getting it wrong. Well, fans of lots of nations are here. An easy trip from the UK to nearby Riga, the capital of Latvia, and just about 30 minutes on the train down here to Sigulda. So it's an easy track to get to. Christopher Grote, as I said, our World Cup points leader after 4 wins from 4 starts. Matt Weston will likely take the World Cup points lead into Christmas, as Grote will not race today. He's already back home in Germany. So his 80th World Cup start will have to wait for 2025. But teammates are still here. Felix Kaiser, Lukas Neidegger, and that man Axel Jung. Germany with 4 athletes in their allocation. There's Craig Thompson from Great Britain. And Marcus Wyatt, who lies 3rd in the World Cup standings. Matt West and Marcus Wyatt likely to be the World Cup points leaders unless they have an absolutely shocking race ahead of the absent Christopher Grote. Or what else? Yin Cheng of China, our winner last year, took his first of 3 consecutive race wins in in Sigulda towards the end of last season. He goes off first, followed by the Dane Rasmus Johansson. Then Chen Wen-hao. No Grote here, so straight on to Matt Weston, Axel Jung, and the rest of them. And that means that instead of 34, there will be 33 sleds in the field, all going for the 25 top times, because it's the fastest 25 who go through into the second heat. In 25th starting position, our rookie from Latvia, who is just 18 years of age. Race 5, IBSF Men's Skeleton World Cup gets underway here in Sigulda, Latvia, with Yin Cheng of China, last year's race winner. That was his 5th World Cup start in Sigulda. He claimed victory last year, going away from Marcus Wyatt and Matt Weston. Will that podium repeat itself? Certainly the pattern of the season with 4 straight wins for Christopher Grote won't be repeated. Yin Chen, little wild on a couple of occasions on this run. Just out of 14, hits the wall going into 15, big height, hits the wall on the exit. Hit the short wall on the inside there, and into 15, short track, 1,400 metres. So a very quick run, 50.02. Now the track record is 49.45. So half a second away from that. In the women's competition, Kimberly Voss, who ended up being the winner, broke her own track record by 0.2 of a second in the first heat and ended up 0.3 quicker than anybody else in heat 1. Went on to win it by 1/1600ths. Yin Cheng taking the fast time. So a 50.02. Timing screen appears to have fallen over a little bit, so we'll just try and refresh that. Time was confirmed, it's not shown on the screen. Nevertheless, we will move on. We know what it was. I've written it down on a piece of paper. That makes it a fact, right? Coached by the Germans, Rasmus Johansson, the Dane, just 22. 14th World Cup race. Started last season in the World Cup. You see Christian Bauder, the Bundestrainer from Germany, holding that sled. So he slides in FES sled as well. Roommate of Christopher Groothair. So learning loads from the Germans. 4.72, his getaway. So Yin Sheng starting 4.61. Let's see how close Johansson can get. 2/10 back, he's still undoing the start. Nice, smooth-looking run though so far. Second best speed to Yin. Skipping from 11 to 12 into 13. Whoa! Height on the exit and on 14. Got a bad run up the straight. Second best speed though, so he's not going to close any on Yin Sheng. And across the line at second place, 50.58, so half a second back. Alexander Auer there on the left-hand side, on the World Cup final for Austria. He's now coaching with the Germans. 72, he was told, that's the start time. He was happy with that run. Raced here in Europe Cup, Intercontinental Cup, and in February's World Cup as well. He was 13th in February, and so far this season, 4th, 8th, 11th, and 12th. He's had a good season so far, only just out of the medals in the topsy-turvy opening race in Pyeongchang. Next up for China, Chen Wenhao, the 27-year-old, finished in 6th place in February's race here, the end of last season, or towards the end of last season. That was only his second World Cup appearance. He finished 9th, first time out in the 2023 race. That was won by Matt Weston after a slew of victories for local hero Martins Ducours. 4.58, excellent starting from Chen. Gives him a slender lead over Yin. Loopy 3 to 4, little late exit out of 4. Down through the upper labyrinth. Corner 11, absolutely key, good exit. Into 12 and then 13 here, all a little late off 13. Tidies it up in 14, only 700s back. Good looking run from Chen, second best speed. Oh, big skid up to corner 16. That's not going to help him. He won't catch his teammate. 2600s back, 50.28. He's about halfway between our first two sleds. 2600s off the lead. That might be enough for a top 3, probably somewhere in the top 6 to 10 group. Dave's warming up a little bit. You can hear the ice. Well, actually, it's not so smooth there. It's covered in a little bit of loose frost, but it's not quite as crackly as it was this morning. Big height in 15. Does he deal with it well on the exit? Yeah, doesn't bring it down too early. Gets a nice exit out of 15. Look at this. Doesn't ride up the wall on the exit. Good job. So, winner on this track 2 races ago, and the bronze medalist in February, Matt Weston. That was the European Championships. He was the European silver medalist in February. 4.54. Come on, Matt. This is down at the top. In the green, 1900s ahead. Knows how to get the best out of this track, Matt Weston. This is a nice, smooth-looking run. All three British girls had at least one really good heat in the morning. Nice looking run, little late and loopy there in 13, late off 14. That's going to crucify the speed, sliding all the way into 15. 4600s. He'll be lucky if this is in double digits at the line. It's going to be very close. It's not as close as I thought. He rescued that well, 49.79. Martin Stukours runs up the track to his young charge. Martin's a four-time winner on this track. Brother Thomas has 2 World Cup wins as well. Matt Weston with the 1. Well, 2 seasons ago, beat Marcus Wyatt. Last season, Marcus Wyatt took silver, Matt took bronze. They were both behind Yin Cheng. Very late 13-14 transition, falling off 14, and worse, this big skid. That is not how you do it? Apparently not. Oh, chocolates. Wonderful. So next up is Axel Juncker, Germany. 4 World Cup starts in Sigulda. Hasn't done all of the World Cups he's done here. He's been in and out a couple of times with injury. 8th, 12th, 10th and 16th, all sort of going in the wrong direction for Axel. And so far this season, 9th and 16th in Pyeongchang, 9th in Beijing, 4th on home ice in Altenburg last week. His best result here is an 8th place finish. So somewhere in the top 10 is probably where we expect to see him, 471. 1700 slower than Matt Weston off the line. $4200s behind. Now, we saw that in the women's race, even the German girls who didn't start so strongly brought speed below 11. He hits the wall going into 12. Oh, hits onto 13. Late in 13, late onto 14. Deals with the exit well, but 8600s back. Third best speed still. Is he going to be third at the line ahead of Chen Wenhao or fourth ahead of Rasmus Johansson? Paddling away in the final corner. Really tap dancing with both feet. 50.48. Well, good form here in 11. Just drags the toe to keep the sled low where he wants it. 11 was okay, but then he had that hit on the exit and trouble in 12, 13, 14. And this is corner 16. Just a little bit above the ideal line, but brings it down, hits the wall as well, robbing himself of more time. Next up, Vladislav Hereskevich of Ukraine. And Vlad in his now 59th World Cup race. Still just 25 years of age. Best result here of a 6th place finish in December 2021. And this is where he really started sliding, grew up here. Vlad always says, if you learn to slide here, you're definitely not scared of Altenburg, Lake Placid, or anywhere else, because you've had it all here. It's very quick, lots of very sharp transitions, lots of high loopy corners. Really need good control of the sled. Second best speed. Nice exit out of 14, gets it straightened up. Still second best speed. Vlad's flying down at the bottom. Top 3, top 4 at the line. 4th place, 50.44. Not a bad looking run at all from Vladislav Hereskevich. Gets sideways here out of 14, knows the drama is coming, gets it sorted out again. A little change up in the second Ukrainian athlete that we'll see today. Vladislav Klimenko returns to the World Cup. Meanwhile, for Austria, first of their sliders, Sami Meyer, 25-year-old with 4 World Cup races here, the best in February 2020, a 13th place finish. He's having a very strong season this season, 6th and 4th in Pyeongchang, 12th in Beijing, 10th in Altenburg, 472. Start getting quicker and quicker as well, and really seems to be gelling with the sled this year, working with his coach Mickey Brumberger. Little scrapey, scratchy noises you hear as he whistles under the camera. That's just the helmet on the ice. Not working too hard here, but 1800s back at the start, 7400s back now. Best speed of all. How does that work? In losing speed all the way down. Now has the highest velocity, just fringes the wall to coming in third, 3700s back. So he started 1800s back, and the rule of skeleton is you're probably 2.5 times that deficit at the bottom. So, chatting with Thomas Dukurs, who's working with the Austrians this weekend, helping with their coaching on this, one of the most difficult tracks in the business. Just a little late flop there. This is the exit of 14. Not going to get too many better than that, are you? Gets it squared up off the corner and then just eases over to the left. Saying hi to the whole family. Next up, Felix Scheisinger, European Championship bronze medalist here in February. Finished just off the podium in 4th place. Has been a silver medalist here though, Kaisi. That was behind Marcus, who finished race 1 in the 2020-2021 season. Bizarre post-ish COVID season, 464. Good strong start again from Kaisi. It's actually looking like a nice smooth run so far. Not too late. The FBS sleds in the women's race certainly was shaking off a lot of skid and still keeping speed. Kaisi's absolutely flying. 4th fastest, not quite as quick as Matt Weston. 3rd fastest. This could be a top 3 run ahead of Sami Meyer maybe on the split. Base buried across the line, 2600s back, he is 3rd. Yet to claim his first World Cup win, Felix Scheisinger. That puts himself in a potential medal position with the first heat. He's 3rd, behind Yin Cheng and leader Matt Weston. Nice early height, drives it down, uses that slingshot effect. And out of 14, same as Sami Meyer. Gets it nice and straight, then eases it over to his left, closer to the camera to get on the 15. Good first heat for Felix Scheisinger. So Marcus Wyatt, silver medal in the last 2 races here. Behind Matt Weston 2 years ago, ahead of Matt Weston last year, and behind Yin Cheng. Currently lying 2nd in the World Cup standings, Marcus. 2nd, 4th and 3rd. Only in Beijing was he off the podium. 4:52, 2nd fastest start of the competition, just behind teammate Matt Weston. Just ahead, rather, of Matt Weston, 4:51, 4:54. Something in there. Drops behind early on though. second best speed. Western quickest, apart from right at the bottom, where Yin had top speed in 15-16. Little high loop, exit of 14, cleaner than Matt Western perhaps. 1500s, best speed, there we go. Closing in on the leader. It's a long way from 15 uphill through 16 to the line. He's got the lead. 2 tenths. Massive run from Marcus Dwyer. You see how much faster the men are going. What did I do? What did I do? It felt good. 49.59, 1400s off the track record set by Martin Stukors in November 2020. That was when Martins was going for the first of his wins here. A good exit out of 14, maybe a little late, but handled it superbly. Didn't have the skid of Matt Western, and from that moment onwards, carrying more speed all the way to the line. Well, there's family and friends. Matt Western's mum and dad a little further along as well. Austin Florian from the USA having a good, strong start to his season as well. Team silver medalist in Altenburg last weekend, his second team's medal and his best World Cup results of the season with a 6th place finish as well. Leaning it into corner 1, 4:58. One of the top 4 starters in the business, Austin Florian. And his sliding is getting stronger and stronger this year. 600s back at the start, 1300s back at corner 4, 1900s back, and only the 6th best speed into 11. Now, can he limit the damage? Can he put himself again in the top half dozen? Great exit out of 14, but 3600s back. 6th best speed only, and late out of 15. Still got speed to the line. Top 6 of the line. 6th place, 50.23. That's just ahead of Chen Wenhao by 500s. He's 700s behind 5th place Sammy Meyer. He's 1800s behind Felix Kaisinger in 4th. Not a bad looking run at all. Best result here, 5th place for Austin Florian into 15, looping up high. The height's not so much the danger, it's bringing it down either too early or too late, and that is a fraction of a second. So 10 down, loads more to go here in the first of our 2 heats in Sigulda. Race 5, IBSF Men's Skeleton World Cup. We're in Sigulda in Latvia with Xu Haifeng. He is our 11th starter in the field. 5th World Cup for Xu, has raced here a couple of times. 2021 in the Intercontinental Cup, 2023 again in Europe Cup. This is his first World Cup race here though. Gets away in 4:71. That leaves him a little on the back foot, nearly 2 tenths behind the leader, Matt Western. Chen Wenhao, his teammate, currently in 7th spot. Yin Cheng of China in 3rd. Now, this is more of a rookie's run. You don't even have to have your eyes open. You can hear the hits. Ooh, that was a substantial one. He's recovering well from them. But unfortunately, all of that impact with the wall and all of the subsequent wrestling is ripping the speed out of the sled. Late flop off 15. 2 big looping 16 corner. And across the line, 51.11. Well, World Cup best result for Xu in his previous 4 races was in Beijing, where he finished in 6th place. Track that he knows better than any other, probably. Everybody gets the end here, blowing their cheeks out. This is fast and furious. You never get a moment to recover. from the stresses of the start. And there's a lot of contact with the wall. Ni hao, as we say. Next up then, Alexander Schlindner of Austria. Mickey Grunberger again with the sled. 3 World Cups here, his best, his first in November 2020, finished in 14th place. 22nd last year. So far this season, although he didn't start the second race in Pyeongchang because he had a little bit of a concussion type feeling. He has made the cut in all the 3 races that he started. 4:75, so just a whisker behind Chu of China. 2300s back at the start, 4300s back now. Let's see where he is out of corner 11. 9th best speed in. And the margin out to half a second. If he can get a top 10 run out of this, I think he'll be very happy. Absolutely stoked. Ooh, bit of an impact with the wall out of 15. But he had the 7th best speed. Is it top 10? It is not quite. He is ahead of Chu Haifeng, but he is 1300s behind 10th place Rasmus Johansson. There's no such thing as a gainly stop, is there, in skeleton? Thomas Ducours again up to help with the sled. Track workers to bring the matting back. Take a look at the exit here out of 15. Brings it down. What he thought was down the middle, just a little late steer holding in there, holding on there and into the wall. Vinzenz Buff next for Switzerland. Only raced here in 1 World Cup, and that result was 20th place last year. Well, last season, February of this year. Next time we see these guys on ice, of course, all of this will be last year because it'll be 2025 in Winterberg. Loading and through the traps at 4:91, so the least accelerative of our starts so far. 13th fastest. But for Vinzenz, it's all about trying to learn this track and improve on last year's maiden outing here. 20th place finish, certainly no disgrace. 6th best speed, definitely no disgrace. Good looking first run so far. Whoa, there's the commentator's curse. Flop into 14. Has to struggle on the exit. 12th best speed. Interesting entry into 16. Across the line in 12th place though, 50.99. And he is 1200s ahead of Chu Haifeng. Alex Schlindner ahead of him by 2800s. So about a third of a second away from the top 10. In fact, four tenths away from the top 10 for Vinzenz Buff. I think they're all starting to feel the pace a little bit here. 5 races in 6 weekends. They're looking for a Christmas break. It's like the long half term. Second half term's only 3 weeks. Next up, Craig Thompson of Great Britain. Well, plus the World Championship, so 5, but you know. 6 World Cups here, best February 2023. 4th place. Just 3, I beg your pardon, 600s behind Christopher Grotehair. 4:54. Still has a good start, Craig. Little high looping onto 3, clean into 4. Only 1100ths off the leader. Sounds good. keep it nice and clean. Third best speed into 11, hits into 12. Needs to be, oh, big height in 13, trouble in 14. Hits the wall, doesn't get as big a skid, but that is going to take him out of the top 3 and possibly out of the top half dozen. In fact, maybe even out of the top 10. Across the line, it is 12th place. 11 corners, good. 5 corners, not good. Santa's little helper with the camera down at the finish. Well, Craig Thompson comes across the line. The first half looked really nice, but here the really big looping height. And then you see just thrown into the next turn, into 14, and he's climbing again on the exit. Hard into the wall. And that's the nature of this track. One tiny error, every tiny error gets punished. It's a bit like Monaco. One error in the barriers, wheels off the car, that's it. Lin Qingwei of China then, they're 4th of 4 athletes. Only raced here in Europe Cup in January 2023. Excellent start, 4:54. You can see why the 25-year-old has made their World Cup team with a start like that and some driving ability in Beijing. Imagine how he made selection, pretty straightforward. Little untidy, 2:34, and there's the result, only the 15th best speed. And like Xu, he's kind of busking this as he goes. It's not as untidy a run as Xu Haifeng. Oh, my timing is impeccable this afternoon, dear oh dear. Across the line, 15th place. So Xu in 14th, Lin in 15th. Breathless stuff, and you get beaten up by all those hits on the wall as well. Everybody gets off rubbing their shoulders, rubbing their hips, rubbing their calves, rubbing their ankles. Almost inverted there on the apex in 15. Just a little wide, and that big leg comes out to correct the slide there into 16. That was real desperation to drag him over. Matt Weston, our leader, first heat. First of our Italian athletes, Mattia Gaspari, a disappointing morning for the women. Let's see if the men can bring something more here. 6 World Cups here, best result of 10th place. Worst of 16, best of 10th. And the last 3 races, 11th, 11th, 11th. 15th best start with a 483. And as ever with Mattia, nice fluid looking start. Fluid looking run. A whisker late with the exit there, got away without too big a hit. 13 to 14 was neat. That should be rewarded with decent speed at the bottom. There you go. Nice looking run from Mattia Gaspari. 15th at the start, 6th at the bottom. So finally, Willi Schneider says, finally somebody's driving the sled properly. When it's always that balance between speed and control, and in the women's race, they just couldn't control the sled. And maybe it's the greater mass of the male athletes, maybe it's a slightly different setup. They will have made their runner choices yesterday, polished the runners up last night, and been committed to them for today. Maybe just adjusting the setup on the sled. Nice top 6 run from Mattia. He needs to put 2 good ones together this season, though. Caleb Smith there for Amadeo Bañez. Caleb helping out with the coaching. Former US World Cup slider. There's Billy Snyder watching from the sidelines. He's the man that is the head coach that builds the sleds for the athletes. 4:56, really strong starting again from Amadeo. Straight onto the wall between 1 and 2. Let's see 3 to 4. Yep, touch there as well. Out of 9, into 10. 5th best speed. When you're willing the Italians to have a decent day here after the women were stuck at the bottom end of the top 20. Not bad from 14, but only the 12th best speed. Mattia Gaspari was the, what was he, 6th fastest at that stage. Across the line, 9th place. Well, 9th out of 17 so far. That might well be a top 10 run for Amadeo Bañez. Best result here is a 10th place in the last World Cup. That's the best of his 4 previous races here in World Cup terms. Loops it out and just drags it down the wall on the inside. Exit 14. And that's where the speed at the bottom of the track comes from. He's still got the smile. Lukas Neidegger for Germany, only his 5th World Cup, a rookie who started his World Cup campaign in Pyeongchang at the beginning of this season. But you sort of sense there might be bright things ahead. 18th and 10th in Pyeongchang, 17th in Beijing, but on more familiar territory, 5th last week in Altenburg. A big smile on his face, his first World Cup top 6. 4.80. Well, he's going to have to slide ice well, starting so far behind our front runners. 2600s behind Matt Weston at the start. It's a lot to do. Half a second back already. 8th best speed into 11. Clean towards 12. Nice into 13. Not too bad on the exit of 13. Good out of 14. This should bring in plenty of speed. 7300s back. 7th best speed. There you go. Clean exit out of 15. This might be top 12 at the line. 11th at the line. And again, below 11, made all of that ground back up, because at one stage he was out to 16th on the splits, off the 16th best. Going into 11, he was only 16th from the 16th best start and drove himself almost into the top 10. How close? Well, he's tied with Axel Junk, his teammate, and they are 400s behind Vladislav Heraskevich in 10th. So there is a massive battle already starting to shape up. Yeah, big smile on his face, liking the attitude of Lukas Neidegger. Katsuhiro Koshi with the sled for Kim Ji-soo of Korea. 30-year-old just out of the top 20 in yesterday's last February's race. Best here, 8th place though in the previous race in February 2023. So he knows the track well enough. It's just finding that performance on the day. Well, there's never much of a doubt that he's getting away well. 4:56, fastest, beg your pardon, 5th fastest start of all. So 400s back from Matt Weston at the start, but already 4,400s back. Where's the speed? Throwing the legs out to kill the skids. The speed is absolutely disappeared out of sled. 8/10 back. He was only 400s off the start. 15th best speed. Flops out of 15. That'll slow him into 16 as well. Top 12. 16th. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, mistakes below 11 and 12, definitely, but nonetheless, the sled was not holding that start speed or anything close to it, even early in the run. Big height in 15, doesn't hold it up long enough, comes down too early, and gravity does the rest. Pushes him up the wall on the exit of 15. And there's the long shot of that as he whistles under the camera into 16. He's steering with both toes on the ice, just slowing you down. Dan Barefoot of the USA, 20th starter. Let's see what he's got. Finished 23rd here last year, 477. Have I been saying leader Matt Weston all the time when I meant leader Marcus Wyatt? Yeah, probably. Marcus Wyatt, the race leader, 4,700s back down Barefoot, so just a little shy of where we just saw Kim Chi-Soo. 18th best speed. Oh, huge hit. It's going to be real trouble in 13, 14, working hard to try and recover from that. 19 speed and falls off the end of 15. I think it's going to see him in 20th place at the line. He might struggle to make the second heat. '23rd place last year. One visit in ICC, 2 in Europe Cup here before last year's World Cup, or February's World Cup. So, yeah, pretty brutal. The hip took a pounding. Look at the early height. He's just going straight up there, turning a little too late. And then, as a result, gets slammed into the wall. He's not driving it in there, he's just getting thrown in there. Same here on the exit of 15. Centrifugal force just throws him to the outside and up the wall. All right, one more run in 2025. No tyre testing on Monday morning. Marcus Wyatt leads from Matt Weston and Yin Cheng. That is your top 3 after the first 20 sleds. Sim Hyung-jun of Korea next up. First time racing on this track. 21-year-old on that high learning curve. 465 getaway. This is a tough track to learn. I mean, they're all tough tracks to learn. You have so little time to do so. A maximum of 6 training runs over 2 days. To try and learn where everything goes and then figure out what perfection feels like. That takes years. Long skid. Oh, and a big hit. Hard onto 14, into the wall and the skid. We saw a couple of our young sliders in the women's field with exactly the same problems. Sim Hyun-jun comes across the line, 21st, 52.17. Now, 25 go through, but as of now, if you're outside the top 20, you're probably going to be worrying. Dan Barefoot in 20th might be worrying. But Sim here was over 6/10 adrift of Dan Barefoot. And again, as he rotates the sled, it over-rotates. touch with the wall, kicks the tail out sideways. See those runners absolutely broadside on the ice. So next up, Jordan Rielemira from Canada. Third World Cup race, has not raced here before. Made his World Cup debut in La Plagne last season, December 2023. Raced last week in Altenburg. Hey, good news, you're back in the World Cup. Oh, fantastic. Even better news, it's Altenburg and Sigulda. Oh, fantastic. So 13th best start for Jordan. 4900s behind our race leader Marcus Wyatt. 12th best start. And if he's in the top 20 on his first race run down this track, he'll be doing an excellent job. '20th best speed, but falls off 15, gets thrown around. This is like being in the tumble dryer. Well, across the line with a 52.68 slide, Jordan Rielemira in 22nd place. Well, 471, 12th best getaway. This young man just needs a lot more ice time. Problem with getting thrown onto tracks that you don't really know is that it's tough to build confidence, especially on a track that's as tough as this one. Next up from Poland is Władysław Poliwak. Władysław in his 5th World Cup after his debut in La Plagne last year in December 2023. His last World Cup start was here last year when he finished 28th. So let's see what the 23-year-old can produce on 485 start. Uncomfortable at the top, giving away speed early on with these touches on the wall. Out of 9 into 10. 20th best speed. Drifting out to 23rd place on the splits, but bringing it back. He can keep it clean down at the bottom here. He's got pretty decent speed, 17th best. This might be enough challenge for the top 20 across the line, 21st place. That might be enough to get him into the second heat. So he's ahead of Sim Hyun Jung of Korea and Jordan Rielemira of Canada. That's not a bad-looking run from Władysław Poliwak. Last World Cup here a year ago, he was 28th. I would be surprised if he's as low as that this year. That might be enough to get him into the second heat. Only 23 sleds down so far from 33, but maybe we're going to have 23-year-old Pole in. Now then, making his World Cup debut, 18-year-old Latvian Davis Malkovskis. 4th in the Youth Olympic Games with Pyeongchang in February. Started in Europe Cup, Lillehammer in November 2023, then went on to the Youth Olympic qualifiers, raced in the Youth Olympic Games, back to Euro Cup, and now his World Cup debut is on home ice. 18th best start, 476. Let's see how well he knows this track. And here's the chanting from the crowd. 10th best speed. into the top 16. Don't let the nerves get to you. You know where you're going. You know how to do this. Great exit out of 14. Speed is good, 11th best speed. This might even be top 12. He's not going to be on the podium in his first ever run down the track. 13th place, 50.58 in the race. Absolutely job done. Well done indeed. How many times has he ever slid here with lights, noise, a crowd, cameras in his face at the start, and a bunch of superheroes around him? Answer, never. Responded really well to first run nerves. 13th place, tied to the 100th with Rasmus Johansson. Good run from the young Latvian. Really sad we didn't see Latvia's 16-year-old debutant in the women's race. Glad that we've seen him in action. We'll get a second heat. Vladislav Klimenko is back for Ukraine. 20th place in the Youth Olympics in 2024. This is his second World Cup after making his debut in Altenburg in February of this year, the day after his 14th birthday, because Vladislav is still just 15. .48 the getaway. Well, we've just seen Davis Valdovskis from a 476 start, just 200s faster, get into the top 13. I'm not necessarily assuming that Vladislav Klimenko will do so, but he does know this track. Not a bad looking run either from the youngster. Good exit out of 14. 20th at the start, 21st speed. Needs to get a couple of sleds behind him. Challenging Vladislav Polivak of Poland for 22nd. Doesn't quite get there at the line, but he's 23rd, 2 sleds behind him. Miki Heriskevich with a big thumbs up there. So Vladislav Klimenko, great first run, nice looking stuff, and that might be enough for a second heat here. In Altenburg on his debut, he finished in 34th place. Another year of experience on, 6 months, maybe half a dozen races tops, let's be honest, because most of it was during the summer. But more ice time. 15 years old. They say policemen are getting younger. Matt White, Marcus White leads from Matt Weston and Yin Cheng. Hunter Williams, the USA, trying to fight his way into the field. 20 sleds down. The race is complete. So he needs to knock somebody out to get in. 29th place in February's race here. World Cup best in Lake Placid at the end of last season, 23rd spot. Did a couple of Europe Cup weekends here in 2021 and 2023. 12th fastest start, but his lack of knowledge of the track is not helping him. Only the 3rd race weekend here in his career. Not a bad exit out of 14. Speed is better. 25th. How close will he be to Vladislav Klimenko and Vladislav Polivak? Answer between them. Ahead of Klimenko from Ukraine, behind Polivak of Poland. So 51.71 off a 4.70 start. So 12th at the start, 23rd at the bottom. Drove himself back into the race from 25th place early in the splits. So Jordan Ria Malira gets no second heat. He's the first man eliminated. And Sim Hyung-jun of Korea is currently in the drop zone in 25th place. So Hunter Williams in at the moment, 2 sleds behind him. Carl Donsberger next up for Canada. Now this again is going to be an uphill task. No previous races on this track. World Cup best in Lake Placid, December 23 of 18th place. So far this season, he's done all 4 World Cups, 32nd and 30th in Pyeongchang, 28th in Beijing, 28th in Altenburg. So getting closer to the cut, but hasn't made it yet. 491 the start, 26th at the start. Not a bad looking upper section. Little clatter into 12. Out of 13, little late into 14. Exit of 14, tries to keep it straight. It's skidding all the way down to 15. Big early height, oh, and a big flop off the exit. Really got thrown around there by the G-forces that his speed generated, and across the line, not quite close enough. He was, until the exit of 14 and that long straight where he just skidded from one side to the other, to the other, to the other. Tough run for Carl Donsberger. 26th place at the moment, ahead of his teammate Jordan. So still clinging on in 25th, Sim Hyun-jun. This is 15, the exit comes down early. There's still centrifugal force working on the sled. He gets thrown up onto the wall. And a heavy flop. Knocks the stuffing out of you. For France and Lucas Defaye, raced here in February, 18th place finish, should be in the World Cup in the second heat here. He's had 3 World Cup starts, 29th, 19th and 18th. 2 World Cups this season, 25th in Beijing, 19th in Altenburg. Nice, smooth, fluid style. Well, where he grew up, La Plagne is a real driver's track. You can't glide it, you have to really feel the ice and get the steers right, and that's why he's gone so well in Altenburg, why he's going well here again. 24th at the start, 15th best speed in the final corners. Going to put him into the race across the line, 21st, 51.27. So off a 4.82 start, 51.27 at the bottom. That's a good run. So Lucas Defaye makes the second heat, at least for the moment. I think that will be enough to keep him in. Outdrove his start. Smile on his face, and so there should be. 24th place at the moment. So next up is Italian rookie Giovanni Marchetti. Made his debut in the season opener in Pyeongchang, 20th and 17, 24th, made the cut in Beijing as well. Didn't have a good first run in Altenburg, only 27th. Raced here 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, 4 seasons ago, December 2021 in Europe Cup. So 1 previous race weekend, but the 12th best speed from the start. Nice looking run so far. And again, like his teammates, seems to have a little bit more control of the sled than we saw in the women's race from the Italian sliders. 21st best speed. Oh, comes straight for him. Just about. 23rd best speed. How close is he going to be to making the cut? This might just be enough to get him a second heat. 22nd, he is in, 51.41. So he's in 22nd, Dan Barefoot 23rd, Vladislav Polivac 24th, Hunter Williams 25th, but teenager Vladislav Klimenko is out. Well, he's 22nd, there are 4 sleds to go, so he is just about safe. Not too much height in 15, and that means you can control the exit better. Good run from Giovanni Marchetti. 4 to go here in Sigulda, Latvia, and our 30th man on ice is Colin Freeling, the 22-year-old from Belgium. 3 Europe Cup race weekends here and last season's World Cup in February. Trains with the Brits. So Kenny at the top, helping him out with the sled and with a bit of free advice. 4.99 getaway. $8,900s back. This is not about where he is compared to Marcus Wyatt. It's where he is compared to everybody else. And the speed gives you a little bit of an indication. 23rd, highest speed. Might be enough to get him in. Good exit out of 14, keeps it clean. 1.4 back. Oh, and horrendous exit out of 15. Needs to be within 2 seconds at the line, but is not. $52.27 for Colin Freeling, and I'm afraid no second heat for him. 30th here last year. Looks like it'll be roughly the same mark this season. Trying to avoid that big run up into the woodwork, but you saw big puffs of ice coming off the runners. That late exit, so uncomfortable. Crashing off 15. 3 to go for Czech Republic, Timon Dranovsky. Let's see what Timon can produce. Last year, 32nd place, 2 spots behind the man who's just preceded him, Colin Freeling. This is only his 3rd race weekend on the track. November 2021, raced in Europe Cup last February, or February of this year. Raced in the World Cup. It's only his 3rd time here. And the young Czech slider in only his 6th World Cup. Still short of knowledge on a lot of these tracks, but it's not a bad looking run so far. Trying to keep it nice and smooth. Not got a huge amount of speed. Good exit out of 14, keeps it clean. Top 20 speed, but again, right towards the roof in 15 and then came down early. Out of 16, hits the wall, 24th at the line. He's in the race at the moment. 2 to go, he might hang on. It's not guaranteed, but right now, Timon Dranovsky is in the race. And Vladislav Polivac in 25th. Hunter Williams, 26th, is out. So 30th best start, finishes in 24th. Way up in the woodwork. And that V's off the corner. He basically falls out now because there's no grip at all on the ice when he's inverted like that. And then just about got away with it, exit of 15. 2 to go. Livio Sumamata from Switzerland, the 22-year-old youth Olympic bronze medalist from 2020. In those games, of course, the sliding in St. Moritz. 27th here in February's race. World Cup best, 19th place in Innsbruck. Good strong start and 13th best velocity. If he can have a clean run, there's a little tap going into full. This might be enough to keep him in the hunt. In the danger zone, and only the 26th best speed. 13th at the start, 22nd on the splits, 23rd on the splits. Decent enough exit, not as quick as Timon Drahanovski. Is this enough to get in across the line ahead of Vladislav Polivac? It might be, it is, 51.53. So he is in, and out goes Vladislav Polivac, and Timon Drahanovski now is 25th and last man standing. Just about handled it, enough out of 14. And 15, not quite as high. And look at the way he's got his head, his body arched, he's steering away from that inside wall. Livio Sumamata will make the second heat. The question now is it Timon Drahanovski or Adrian Rodriguez? One will go out, one will go in. Drahanovski 25th, and our final slider, Adrian Rodriguez of Spain. Last year was his first race here, and he crashed out. World Cup best is his debut in Beijing last season when he was 23rd, 4:79. Made the cut in race 2 in Pyeongchang. Fairly substantial hit, 3 to 4. Into 9, into 10. 24th best speed. Needs to be clean down here. Not bad so far, out of 14. He's got a chance, long skid into 15, the speed has gone away. I think that's too much time lost at the bottom. It's Timon Drahanovski or Adrian Rodriguez, and it is Timon Drahanovski, 51.95 for Adrian Rodriguez, 29th at the line. So ahead of Sim Hyun Chung and Colin Freeling and Carl Donsberger and Jordan Raya-Milira, but not enough to make it into the second heat this time out. Well, that is what finally killed the speed off. Exit of 14, sideways all the way down the track into 15. Out of 15 again, being flung out. Had to really wrestle the sled away from the wall, and then uphill, he's bled off too much speed. Feliz Navidad, I believe they say. At least that's what Jose Feliciano told me, so you can't blame me for my appalling Spanish, you can. So our race leader, Marcus Wyatt, for the first time this season, it is not Christopher Groothair. Now, Groothair's won the first 4 races. The last couple go, it's been by hundreds. Marcus Wyatt and Matt Weston have kept him honest, and they run 1-2 at the moment. Marcus Wyatt leading and looking for his first win of the season, his first win since the season opener in Whistler last year. and his first win here in Latvia. Matt Weston, 2 tenths back, over 2 tenths behind him, Yin Cheng, and then it gets busy. Kaisi, Maya, Gaspari, Florian Chen, Banyas, Heraskevich. Behind him, Jung and Nydegger tied. Johansson and Valdovskis tied. It's going to be a busy second heat. Timon Dranovsky will lead them off. Vladislav Polivac, Hunter Williams, Vladislav Klimenko, and the rest will have to watch from the sidelines. The final heat of 2024. Christopher Grote here. If you're watching at home, I hope you are feeling a whole lot better in a hurry. Get well soon, my friend. We'll see you soon. And we will see everybody else as well as you at home. 16:45 local time in Latvia, 14:45 PMT, 15:45 Central European, 09:45 Eastern. Till then, for the IBSF TV crew in Sigulda, Martin Haven saying thank you for joining us. We'll see you shortly.